Hello, everyone, and happy holidays. From Speaking of Diamonds, my name is Rich. And if you've been to the channel before, welcome back. If you are new to the channel, welcome in and welcome to the Christmas premieres. I can speak from experience that the Christmas premieres means a lot to me because specifically last year, I think was the first year that I really found the full gamut of premieres. And I don't have a lot of family. I don't have any family. I shouldn't say a lot. I have no family. My father was my last, closest living relative. He passed away a number of years ago. And, other than a half brother and a half sister that, for purposes not to be discussed here, not very close with, um, it's the holidays have always been a very quiet time around my house, so I appreciated what the premieres attempt to do, and actually they do. They do make you feel not so alone, and so when I got the chance to participate this year, I jumped at the chance because they are so important to me. So what I thought we would do today is I'm going to do sort of a whip and chat style. If you are new, whip stands for work in progress. And I'm going to be working on a Christmas canvas that I'm working on for Jingle Drills 2024. And I'll throw a picture of it up here. The name of the canvas is Kissing Santa. It's by J.D. Leidendecker. J.C. Leidendecker, J.C. Leidendecker, and I love it because it harkens back to old timey Christmas, and for me, uh, Christmas really is. I don't know. I just find the Christmas of past, the the lore of Christmas. That's really what draws me to the season, and what I enjoy about the season. So I'm gonna be working on that, and I'm going to be working with. So I have a pen here. This is from Diamond Pen Pal on Etsy. This is Santa pen with his little belt here. I like, probably, everyone likes something about the holidays, or figures from the holidays. So some people like snowmen, some people like the reindeer. I like Santa. He's my guy. And I have my Firefly tray here, Firefly Diamond Arts tray, the Christmas tray. They do such a nice job with their trays, and I just love these nano uh, Inferno Nanos. They just seem to be the very perfect size for me. And this is the closing mechanism, so I don't have to keep track of a stopper. So it's just perfect for me. Um, and once I get started in, I'm using the single placer from DAC and a six placer from DAC. That's my go-to. And then in both of those is alien putty. And I know that I've talked about alien putty before, and that how it really works pretty well. And I wanted to show you, this is literally, these are still cold because I just got these from my mailbox, but I got the new holiday um, alien putties. So we have coal, then we have holly, which is scented, and then minty, which is also scented. I'm going to I'll open up the holly here, see what this looks like. Oh, look at it. That's very Christmassy. And it smells sort of powdery, sort of sweet, a little powdery, a little sweet. It's an interesting scent. It's a nice scent. It's not super strong. Then here's the coal. Ever want coal for Christmas or think you were going to get coal? There we go. And then let's look at the minty because this is fun. Oh, look at that. It's striped. And yes, minty, scented with some peppermint there. And there's even, I don't know if you could see it, but there's even some like shiny mica powder in it. So these are my new uh, alien putties. I am not using these tonight just because I just got them. My pen was already full. And like I said, they're also cold. So I probably have a little difficulty getting them into the pen. So before we get started here, I just thought I got together a number of items that holiday items, I'll stress that, holiday items that I gathered together. And I just thought I would show you some of the small shop purchases that I have and some of the diamond painting uh, accessories that also can double as Christmas decorations. So here's the picture of what I put together. And starting over at the left, we have the little Santa boot, the resin boot that holds the candle. That's from Lady Lathe. Stacy Travis there made that for me, and I absolutely love it. It sits on my diamond painting table all year, or not all year, I should say. It's been here since I got it because I just got it this year. Moving to the right, you see two little snow globes there. And we have one snow globe is the Grinch and the other one is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Those are actually cover minders. They have the magnets on the back that you can attach them to your canvas if you wanted to hold back any plastic covers, or if you wanted to hold your um, release papers. But when I saw those on Crashly, these comes from Crafts with Crashly, who is probably more well known for her release papers, which I'm using. Um, she had these on the site, and I just had to grab them because they were so fun. And there's actually, if we look over to the right, in front of the box, there's three other ones there, and those are the Star Wars themed ones that I grabbed. So we have Baby Yoda, Chewbacca, and Darth Vader. And and these um, snow globes slash uh, cover minders, they sit on the windowsill in front of my table. So I've been looking at them for the entire season. So those are also going to be some diamond painting accessories that can double as Christmas decorations. So if we go back over to the left, behind those um, snow globes, there's a picture of my little guy, my little puppy Sammy. That's I think the first or second year that he came to live here, and he's with Santa, and I just love him. He is just so in my heart, and he's just my life. He's 12 years old now, and so it is an older picture, but I just love it. When I went to take it, he was not paying attention to anybody. And I had one of his toys, and I just like squeaked it once or something. He looked up, and he immediately has a look on his face like, Dad, Dad. And yeah, I just love the little guy. In front of those two uh, snow globes, we have Tracy's DP World putty. There's the peppermint, the gingerbread, and the homemade cookies. I don't think those are the ones that are specifically in any type of Christmas set. Those are just the ones I grabbed because we make Christmas cookies and we make gingerbread men and we have candy canes and a little peppermint schnapps in our hot chocolate. Moving over the reindeer, obviously that is not, that's just decoration, as is those trees in the back. But moving in front of the reindeer, we have another Diamond Pen Pal pen that's a lava pen. So the center of that pen is filled with a liquid, and then in this case, maybe it's like a really chunky snowflake and red dot and Santa face glitter, but that will move as you flip your pen over to go from multi-placing to single placing. And then continuing in the front there, just some random um, cover minders as well that came with various products that I had purchased this year, except for the one that looks like a cameo. That one I've had for a couple years now, and I just love it because again, it's old timey Christmas, and I just I love that. And even though I don't use cover minders a lot, that always comes out and it always goes on my canvas and or sits on my desk somewhere because it is just so pretty. And then we have some rose mud, another putty that I really enjoy. Rose mud, we have the autumn or the Christmas wreath, the gingerbread, and the peppermint. I like both of those putties. In addition to my alien putty, I will move between the various kinds there, and just thought I would include them. Those are I did purchase those earlier this year. Then to the right there, we have uh, a tray that has the reindeer with the antlers and whatnot. I just love how that tray looks. I don't use it very often. Forgot even where I got it from. Um, but I just like the look of it. So it just reminds me of Christmas. So I pulled that out. Then in the box in the upper right there, just have some of the Christmas trays. Those are all, yeah, they all happen to be Firefly Diamond Art trays. We have the Jingle Drills tray from last year, I believe it was, the white one there. And then in the center they're red. It's probably a little hard to see in the picture, but it's has a raised design on it of a Christmas wreath and whatnot. Then we have the Merry Christmas. It's that sort of that seafoam green one. Now that I'm looking at this, I really wish I got that a better picture, but it has an old truck on it carrying a tree, like it's carrying it home, and I that's just a great looking tree as well. And then behind there, just sort of propping those up, are their buffalo plaid, both the red and the white. um, all other trays that were actually from autumn, but thought I would include them because plaid, as you can see there from the on the table, plaid's always in style, especially around Christmas. Um, smack dab in the middle there, or in the greenery, if you will, just a couple cards that I've received from some of my friends in the diamond painting community, including that front one, which has a nutcracker on it. That's actually a diamond painting card. And then uh, just to the right of the green card in the back there, you see a star, a gold star that came from Eve and Kathy at Pucky Pie Pours. Um, Brand new shop that opened up. They have a Facebook group. I'll tag them below, but you want to check out their Facebook page. They post what they have for sale there. Kathy is the artiste when it comes to the resin works, and she comes up with some amazing patterns and color combinations, specifically in like the trinket trays. But she also has done some very beautiful snowflakes for the season. There were some uh, like little trash bins, resin trash bins that were very cool. And the probably the most awesome. Well, Eve and Kathy themselves are awesome, but when you consider that Kathy is actually legally blind, so Eve does help her out in the resin works, but Kathy is the true woman behind the curtain, if you will, when it comes to the resin work. So go check them out and follow their Facebook page. They're going to be doing some great things, and I think they have they're partnering with some events coming up, so I'm sure you'll see uh, more about them in the coming months. And then right in front of that, now that is a present, the what looks like two popsicle sticks. It is two popsicle sticks. I could lie and say they're skis, because they do look like skis as well, but I have a feeling those are only from Eve. But as I would like to, Eve is a great person. It's an inside joke. I wanted to include it. Here's a little inside joke, and just tell Eve that she's too twisted for color TV. Um, and I love that. That is like, that made me laugh so hard. And one day maybe I'll tell you the story. And certainly, if you were on, I think it was a game night with Ditsy's Diamond Den, you may even know what that is. So, yeah, so I just thought I would show you some of the. I like when things have dual purpose, and everything here is diamond painting accessory, but it can also be a decoration. And there was three really recent purchases that I wasn't able to fit on the table, so I thought I would show you here. Um, these are, and I'll post the site below, but these are diamond painting trays. Look at that. And in this one, his little pom-pom on his hat is a little stopper, so you can push the diamonds out there back into your container. But I mean, come on, the Grinch with his Christmas hat here, and this snaps back on pretty tight. But awesome tray. Comes from Grayson Creations on Etsy. Again, I will post them below. When I saw these, I had to get them, and there's a set. I have a couple more to show you, but even look at the bags that they sent them in. I'm assuming that this is fabric that they found somewhere and made, or purchased it from somewhere. But I mean, this is, presentation is everything sometimes, and that really got me with these bags. Let's see who's next here. Okay, this is little Cindy Lou Who with the little bow on her head. And again, not to sound creepy, but if you remove her face, there's your tray, and her bow comes off, and there again is a spout, a funnel for the diamonds to go back into whatever your storage vessel is. So Cindy Lou Who, get her put back together here. And then finally, one of the most underrated Christmas characters of all time. And it seems to be a theme, but come on, Max, Grinch's dog. Poor Max. He gets the antlers tied to his head, and he pulls the sleigh, and then he pulls the sleigh down the hill, and it comes after him and stuff like that. And he puts up with the Grinch. I love Max, and I don't see enough things with just Max or that include Max. It's always the Grinch, and it's maybe always a Who. But again, you take his face off, and then you take his antlers, and there's your spout. So I just thought these were so incredibly creative. They're huge. I don't know that I would ever use them for diamond painting, because I mean, I would probably need more table space to use this big honkin' tray. But I mean, how awesome would these be just laid out on a table? Or stuck into the tree, into the branches of the tree and stuff like that. And people would be like, "Oh, that's cute. What are those?" And you'd be like, "Oh, those are diamond painting trays, actually." So I thought that was really fun. I wanted to share those since we are talking about Christmas here. We're celebrating Christmas, or of course, if you celebrate another holiday, um, happy holidays to you, whether it's Hanukkah, whether it's Kwanzaa or Diwali. Um, Definitely happy holidays to all of you. And let's go ahead, and what I thought I would do with the whip and chat here is I have pulled up some of those tag questions, if you've ever heard of tag questions before. So basically questions that I'm going to answer about Christmas, and feel free to follow along. Feel free to put into the chat your answers or into the comments of the video. Either way, if you're watching a replay, you can post a comment. But I figured we could go through and uh, answer some of these questions, and inevitably some conversation will occur. I don't know what's been with my tongue lately. I can't pronounce a lot of can't getting tongue tied. I gotta get my silicone thimble. For those of you who maybe have not seen this in a previous video, I wear a silicone thimble on my pinky finger here so that I can place it down on the sticky and I don't stick to it. Um, Obviously, I can pull my finger off if my finger gets in the sticky, but this just alleviates the whole problem. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting down drills here. And let's take a look at the first question. And I want to say thank you to Hello Cuppies for this list of questions. What is your favorite Christmas movie? And when I was looking for these, obviously I had an opportunity to look at some of the questions a little beforehand. So I've been thinking about this one. I've been thinking hard about this one. When it comes to Christmas movies, I think the one that I enjoy the most that is truly a Christmas movie is the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I mean, come on. Uh, with the in-laws, the insane amount of Christmas lights, Todd and Margot arguing next door about why is the carpet wet. Todd, I don't know, Margot, and then cousin Eddie out in front of the house emptying his not septic tank, but whatever, the waste tank of his RV into the sewer. Um, I mean, come on. And I think that movie, every year I can watch it and something else will pop out at me as something that is ringing especially true that year. This year, uh, if you recall, if you've seen the movie, Clark is waiting for his Christmas bonus because he's going to build a pool. And what shows up instead is and he's gotten this monetary bonus every year, seems to be implied, if not said outright. And this year he gets a subscription to the Jelly of the Month Club. And he sort of loses it. And he ends up, cousin Eddie goes and kidnaps his boss and brings him to the house, and, hilarity ensues. But that one sort of um, rang true with me this year just because I was a little disappointed in the bonus situation at my job this year. But you know what? I just have to tell myself a bonus is a bonus. It's never guaranteed. And I just need to be happy with it. But at the same time, doesn't mean that it didn't sort of sting at first. So, yeah, I guess that would be my favorite Christmas proper movie. Now, and I say that because you know how there's always the argument of whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie because it takes place at Christmas time. Well, there's another movie that it takes place at Christmas time visually. Like you will see lights and trees in the background of the various scenes, and it's cold and whatnot. Um, but nowhere in the movie do they um, acknowledge that it's Christmas time. So it could be, shortly after Christmas, it could be right before Christmas. I don't know. But that movie is my favorite movie of all time, Moonstruck. Moonstruck, fantastic cast. Cher, Olympia Dukakis, what's his name? Nick, the is it Nick? No, I don't know. I'll post a link to the IMDb below. But just a fantastic movie. I love it. It is probably more of a little romance movie, whatnot. But really, what I like about it is the big Italian family that is in the movie. You have the mom, the dad, the grandfather, and the mom telling they're at dinner, and the grandfather gets up. He has like six dogs, and he's always taking him for a walk at night. He says, "Oh, the bella luna, howl, howl," and the dogs howl at the moon. And they are eating dinner one night, and he's taking food, he's putting it on his plate, and he takes it over and he sets it down in front of the dogs. So he comes back to the table, and the father says, "Get my father another plate. He doesn't have a plate here." So they get him a little plate of food. The grandfather gets up with the plate, and Olympia Dukakis just she puts her arm on the table. She goes, "Old man, you give the dogs another piece of my food." And I forget exactly what she said afterward. The way she said it, I'm going to kick you to your dad or something like that. It's just a hilarious line. But I just love that big Italian family. And maybe because my mom was, um, I guess she would technically be first generation from Italy. And unfortunately, she passed away when I was 3. But I often wondered, like, could my family have turned out like that? And I think it would probably at if I was in that situation, it would probably be driving me crazy. But that would be so awesome to be in a family like that. And the food and whatnot. The mother for breakfast in one of the final scenes, she's making what is it called? It's called eggs in a basket. When you put the toast and you cut a hole out of the center and you put the egg in it, or I've heard it called toad in a hole, I think. But just by looking at it, how she's cooking it, the utensils, the well used utensils that she's using, darn well she whips up a fantastic manicotti or a fantastic um, uh, sauce. There's got to be a fantastic sauce coming out of that kitchen. Um, and yeah, so those are my two favorite Christmas and sort of pseudo Christmas movies. Next question. Have you ever had a white Christmas? And the answer to that is yes. And probably it's more uh, unique to not have a white Christmas here. For those of you who may not know, I live in Illinois. I live in the western burbs of Chicago, and it gets quite snowy and windy and cold here, being in the Midwest and on the in the north sort of area of the Midwest. Um, so yeah, we usually always have snow around Christmas time. Now, of course, the past couple years, the way that the weather has just been really crazy. Um, there's been more times than we've probably been without snow, but it seems to be that we either get 9 feet of snow or we get no snow. There isn't much in between anymore these days. We're actually we had snow that was sticking to the grass areas, and actually was sticking to the driveway as well in the areas that I didn't shovel. But then today it was a little bit warmer than normal. I think it got up into the upper 40s or maybe even 50. Right now, early evening, I look and it's at 36 degrees outside. So most of that snow, except for the piles and stuff, has gone away. I think it's a real shame when it doesn't snow until after Christmas, because one of the things that I think look the prettiest when it comes to the Christmas holiday is Christmas lights under the snow. You know how you'll put maybe lights on like some evergreen bushes, and then it snows, and then the light, the colored light or the white light, just sort of shines through the snow a little bit. I just find that so pretty. And I in the recent years, it's always snowed after Christmas. And I'm like, darn it, people have taken down the Christmas lights already. Because usually there's like a nice 50-degree day or something. So everybody runs outside and takes down their stuff super early, because it's warm and they don't have to then take it down when it's cold again. So, yeah, so White Christmas, absolutely, um, more often than not. Where do you usually spend your holiday? I was thinking about this one. I don't think there's ever been a Christmas specifically that I have been anywhere except for at home, um, or like at maybe a family friend's house or whatnot. But in the local area, I always stay local, and that goes for New Year's as well. The only holiday that I've ever traveled on, and I mean, I guess it's a holiday, but I was on a Halloween cruise. That was fun. I was on a cruise that was around Christmas time, and that was cool to see um, all the decorations, the big tree that the ship had, and stuff like that. So that was sort of fun. But I tend to not travel, like more recently, not travel around Christmas time because I have Sammy, and I don't want to. My neighbor usually watches him when I go out of town, and I don't want to be like, "Hey, are you going to be having your entire family over? Well, let me add one more dog to your household, in addition to her two dogs, and then probably another dog that her brother or someone's going to bring over." So I tend to like to stay home and um, just do our own thing, and stay home with Sammy. Yeah. Yeah. What is next? What is your favorite Christmas song? Okay. Again, I've said several times here that I really like old timey Christmas. I think technically it's called Christmas ephemera. Ephemera. I forget how to pronounce it, but there's a word for it. But the old timey Christmas. So I like pretty much all of the old uh, Christmas tunes, from Bing Crosby, Rosemary Clooney, um, all of those type of folks. I do, yes, I like the Kelly Clarksons and um, of course, the Mariah Carey song, whatnot. Dolly Parton, Hard Candy Christmas. Uh, I like those newer songs as well, but the old old time, older songs really uh, have a special place in my heart, especially since it's like a full orchestra going. It's not synthesized, it's not sampled, just amazing. So, uh, my I'm going to say two favorite. One, of course, is the Christmas song or Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire, Nat King Cole. Nat King Cole could sing the telephone book, and I would probably fall asleep very happily and dream marvelous dreams because I just love his voice. And then the other one is probably it's been a little controversial in the past couple years because it sounds a little creepy if you listen to the lyrics and make some assumptions and stuff like that. It could be a little creepy, but it's "Baby It's Cold Outside," and the original version. And some people think that it's a little creepy because the guy's like, "Ooh, stay here and have a drink and don't go anywhere," and a little cringy when it comes to that. But um, I just love, again, I just picture these people sitting there in the 50s or the 60s with that, um, the furniture from the time that I didn't experience. I was born in the early 70s, but certainly I see in movies and stuff like that. And I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Music has always been um, a very prominent part of the holidays for me, as a former um, music student of music. A lot of madrigals and Christmas hymns and uh, the Alleluia Mass and all those other typical Christmas things. Um, I just it's always been a very big part of the season for me. Do you open any presents on Christmas Eve? Well, of course, not anymore. I live by myself, so I open my gifts all year round as I purchase stuff for me. Some of my friends say I'm the worst person to buy things for because I just buy what I want when I want it. Um, but I mean, I guess sorry, but that's what happens. So, but I do remember when my dad was here. Again, maybe when I was younger, but as you get older, it's sort of like you either want to go out with friends or you just want to sit and enjoy the tree, or you want to start watching the 24-hour marathon of the Christmas story or whatever the case may be. So not anymore. Not opposed to it. I thought it was always sort of fun to do so, and I know that some parents will even sort of break up the, okay, you can open up the gifts from us, and then tomorrow you open up the gifts from Santa. And I think that's fun. Um, which I don't know if this is a question here or not, but um, you know, the whole Santa thing. I don't think I was ever told there wasn't a Santa. I just think that I never really believed that there was a Santa. Um, Presents didn't just appear under my tree um, until I was a little older, and my dad um, had a girlfriend who would sort of put that stuff out. Christmas for me when I was young was um, going to. I remember specifically. I remember this going to Toys R Us on Christmas Eve. Can you imagine that? Christmas Eve, and my dad saying, "Okay, pick something out." And I share that story not because I'm like, isn't that a sad childhood? You know what? My dad did what he could do as a single father in the 70s and the 80s. Um, you know, it it was difficult, and he did what he could, and that's when he had time to go to the store and just brought me with so I could get what I want. And, that's just sort of what I knew. So, but I do love the lore of Santa. I like all things Santa. So I think that since I never really thought there was a Santa, probably, Santa never really went away from me. I still believe in the spirit of Santa. And, I was talking to someone on my team at work the other day. I asked what they were doing for the holiday, and she told me what their plans were. And I says, "Are you all done with your shopping for your kids?" And she said, "Yeah." And I says, "Do they believe in Santa?" And she goes, "Yeah, they do." And I said, old are they again? And I forgot the youngest's age, but her oldest is 15. And I paused for a second. I was like, is that a little old to be believing in Santa? But then I thought, you know what? The world is such a challenge these days. Let the kids believe in Santa as long as they can, right? That's the one guaranteed bright thing throughout the year. Let them have it. That's all I'm going to say on that. Let's go ahead. Is your Christmas tree real or fake? Well, I don't put a Christmas tree up anymore. If I do put one up, it's one of those um, ceramic ones with the lights on it. Um, it's a, it's the one I have is a um, like a recently made one, but it's made to look like the old school ones. And I remember we had one of those when I was a kid. But when we did put a Christmas tree up, it was always fake. My dad was a neat freak. I don't think he would ever be able to put up with a tree dropping needles all over the carpet and stuff like that. It was bad enough that the artificial tree would lose its plastic needles and stuff like that. And you'd be finding them all year when you were vacuuming, but it was always fake. Um, and, sometimes when I would, fake trees are just um, more symmetrical, and therefore probably seen as more beautiful than a traditional tree that could have a hole on one side, or a little lopsided, or is short. But when you grow up with that, that becomes your ideal Christmas tree, like the perfect triangle shape of the Christmas tree, whatnot. So yeah, it was always fake. What is your favorite holiday treat, food, or sweet? Hmm. Well, let's talk about marzipan. Anything that has marzipan in it is my ultimate favorite. That is the almond paste, almond flour mixed with sugar. And a lot of times you go to like the uh, German Christmas. Um, what do they call them? Christmas Kindle markets. Kindle markets. They make things out of. They'll sculpt marzipan into fruits or other shapes. They actually, a couple years ago, they had. I mean, they had them every year, but they had pigs that they sculpted out of the marzipan, and supposedly. Um, if someone gave you this marzipan pig, you would have good luck or something for the rest of the year. I don't know if that's true. Just like the whole Christmas pickle thing, that's not really a German tradition. Sorry, it's just not. But it's fun. So, but yeah, I had gotten my entire team. I got everyone marzipan pigs, and wish them luck for the year and whatnot. And it was fun just to talk about them and have them. So anything with marzipan, Stollen, the German, it's like the German version of fruitcake, really. It's a sweetened bread. It's baked with candied fruit and stuff like that, and then it'll have some marzipan in there. There's also the panettone, the Italian version of uh, fruitcake, very light and fluffy, rich egg dough, again with the candied fruit in it, and that is super delicious. And that then leads me to, yes, I do like fruitcake. Um, uh, Not maybe like the 99-cent fruitcake from from somewhere. I mean, let's have it, be made in the last at least 12 months, not older, and maybe have some quality ingredients in it. But I do like a fruitcake. Um, be honest, do you like giving or receiving gifts better? Giving, 100%. I do not like the attention when I'm opening gifts and everyone's looking at you. Um, I do not like to get gifts, but I do like to give them. Um, what is the best Christmas present you ever received? This is an interesting one. I was thinking about this because like I said, I saw the questions when I was searching for them. So here's the story of the item that took me by, I don't know if surprise is the word, but maybe it just caught me so off guard and it was so touching. So, as I mentioned in some previous videos, I used to be a bit of a musician. I was planning on being, doing some music education, majoring that in college. And so when I was in high school, my high school had a sort of advanced class that you could take that met before school, and it was on conducting. It was conducting a choir. So you would go, and before school, you would go a couple days a week, and you would, learn the patterns, and um, we had to read like music journals and comment, write sort of papers on the articles that we read. Um, and then what you did was you were typically in the concert choir, which was the highest level of choir, unless you got into like madrigals or swing choir, stuff like that. Those were smaller and much more sort of niche, if you will. But you had to be in concert choir. And then you took a like freshman boys, or it wasn't called freshman girls, but it was a similar thing. You took those, whatever those classes were, whenever those met, you went to those classes, and you were a guest conductor in the class. And the final wasn't really your final test or anything, but the final sort of frosting at the on the cake, if you will, was you got to conduct a song in concert in the spring um, concert for, it was all of the choirs. It was a formal event, so all the girls had formal gowns. All the men wore tuxedos. Um, so it was a really big deal, and I got to conduct, and you of course workshopped the song with the choir in class, every day or multiple times a week. And my song was "Some Enchanted Evening, you will see a stranger. You will see a stranger across a crowded room." Of course, from South Pacific. And yeah, so long story short, right? Too late. Um, There was a group of us that got together at a friend's house for Christmas. We were all in, I think we were the Madrigal Singers, so one of the smaller choirs, and we'd gotten to know each other pretty well. And we did basically a not a white elephant, but like a gift exchange. But we exchanged the names, and you got something for one person. So my turn to open up my gift, and it's from one of the more popular guys on in the choir. So I immediately was sort of like, "Oh, thanks. This is going to be weird. It's from a dude. It's from a popular dude, and this is going to be awkward." I don't know. I at that time I thought it was. I just felt that it would be awkward. Um, and I opened it up, and I caught my breath, and I couldn't speak for a couple seconds. Like I think I croaked out, "Thank you. This is so nice." But he had gotten me my first conducting baton, and I don't know. It just seemed like something that it took thought, and to think about this popular guy who had lots of other things to do and lots of other people to think about, actually thought about um, a gift that was useful and but also sort of symbolic and stuff like that. It would just really touched me. So that has always stood out as probably my favorite Christmas present ever. What is your dream place to visit for a holiday season? I'm going to say any cruise, anywhere. I would love to be on the sea, looking into the night sky, waiting to see Santa and his reindeer fly in front of the moon. Um, are you a pro present wrapper or do you fail miserably? Okay, look, can I wrap a gift? Yes. Do I want to wrap a gift? No. I, no. Bag it, bag it, bag it, bag it, bag it, bag it. Um, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Uh, what made you realize the truth about Santa? I think we talked about that. And what makes the holiday special for you? Well, um, sort of as I mentioned, having not having a lot of family around the holiday time was always a little difficult. You got used to it, but it was always difficult when the neighbors on either side of you, their driveways were absolutely full on Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff like that, and you didn't have anyone over at your house. I remember specifically one year I took the dog out for a walk, and I was walking down a street, and the woman opened up the front door, and she shook out the tablecloth after Thanksgiving dinner, and she was shaking out front. And it just, I don't know why that imagery hit me so much, but I was just like, they had family over, they had a big gathering, they had some merriment, they probably had some arguments, but still, it was it hit me quite hard. But you know it is what it is, and you make the best of it. So for me, I tend to let all my coworkers who have families take off around Christmas, and I man the office. But then I take off at other times of the year, right? And There's always the friends, come on over, but that's awkward too. And I don't know if any of you have felt that way, that you're just like you're going to their family gathering, and here you are, and you just feel like the ultimate third wheel. So I don't like doing that either. Um, so yeah, what makes the holiday special for you? I mean, just the magic of the holidays, the music, the movies, the imagery. Um, it just That's what makes it for me. Coming up on the 1 hour mark, so I need to wrap up to give you all a little bit of break between premieres here. So, again, thank you for joining me. I hope that you were able to follow along with some of these questions and you put your answers in the chat or into the comments of the video. I will go back and read them, and if we have something common, we can chat about it. But sincerely, from one person who was really saved by these premieres last year, I wish you a happy holiday season. And it's okay. It's okay. We'll all get through it. There will be other days that won't be holidays and we won't feel so alone. But I hope that I did my little insignificant part to make you not feel too alone for the holidays this year. Thank you very much. My name is Rich, and I'll talk to you next time. And by the way, subscribe to my channel so that we can chat some more, and you can learn about putting your hi Angel. You can learn about putting rubber things on your fingers while while you diamond paint. Have a good day, everyone. Bye bye.